Hey gang, Mark Sweeney here from Austin Dental Spa in beautiful, very warm Austin, Texas. If you've tuned in before around this time, you know what we're doing here. We call it Wisdom Wednesday for about 7, almost 8 years now. We've been doing it every Wednesday around this time, 5:30, 6 o'clock. And for 7 years, we've tried to bring you the latest, greatest in not just dental news, because it is a dental office, as you can see behind me, but also a lot of medical news, especially in 2020 during the pandemic and shutdown. I had privy to a lot of information that was being disseminated to the health professionals that wasn't getting out to the general public. And we used Wisdom Wednesday to keep our patients and our followers informed about the latest, greatest stuff. And we scooped a lot of the national news organizations. We're going to do something a little similar to that today, because I have not seen this most recent research until we researched it today. This is about artificial intelligence. If you've not been living under a rock, you know that AI is all over the place out there, and there are people, the doomsayers, saying that in another 7 years or 5 years or 10 years, whatever, everybody's got a different prediction that AI is going to take over and humans won't be needed anymore. Well, we're going to dispel that a little bit today, but first, I want to back up a little bit. We've got today and one more Wednesday in the month of August, and then I've got a big announcement for September. But we're still in August right now. Every month we have a theme, and the theme for this month has been A+ August, kind of an acknowledgement to the kids going back to school and hopefully shooting for A+s there, and to A+ about your own personal life, how to get an A+ in your life and live your very best life. So let's get back to the AI stuff. This study came out of Northeastern University, which I believe is just outside of Chicago. But Northeastern University, the computer science department. Now, these are all computer science grad students that did this study, and they went back on social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and they looked at all the medical publications about depression. They specifically were looking to see if AI could view these social platforms and tell whether someone was depressed or not. And because they found, I'll get to the numbers in a minute, but they found a lot of articles out there on social media, which is kind of a dangerous thought, that were done by medical professionals, not computer scientists, and they found some problems with these, because they're looking at it from a strictly computer science AI. They understand AI and how it was developed. And they narrowed it down to 47 studies that they found were relevant, that were published since 2010, very, very early in the AI days, but all the way up till most recently, that were published on PubMed, IEEE Explorer, and Google Scholar. Now these are medical publications. So there was a lot of PubMed stuff about the COVID pandemic back 5 years ago. But it's generally acknowledged that these are medical studies that have been peer reviewed and have been approved for publication. But what they discovered is that all of these studies, as I mentioned before, were experts in medicine and psychology, but not in computer science. And so these computer nerds found that only 28% of the studies adequately adjusted what they called hyperparameters, which is a AI term that I don't completely understand, but it's the settings that guide how AI models interpret the data. You've probably heard, if you're familiar with AI at all, about these hallucinations that they get where AI programs like ChatGPT, writing a term paper for a college student, they take a lot of data, and then they crunch it down and they make some assumptions. And so apparently these AI experts can set those parameters, but the medical professionals, they found in at least 28%, that's almost a third of the studies, they did not adjust those hyperparameters. So 17%, a little fewer number, did not properly divide data into training, validation, and test sets. Now again, these are AI terms, and these are computer nerds, computer grad students from Northeastern that are doing these. So they said there was a lot of usage of imbalanced data sets that likely skewed the results. So by using AI, it's just like the college students writing term papers, the professors and the computer people were able to figure out in a lot of cases that they were using ChatGPT to write their term papers because it made incorrect assumptions, or it threw in these hallucinations that were just interpretations of the data by a computer that weren't necessarily factual. And so they were able, a good computer science person is able to catch that. The other flaw they found in the study is that it was 90% of it relied on English language, which means it was America, UK, and English-speaking countries in Europe, and not on any other language. So you can't draw global interpretations from this. So only 23% of the studies clearly explained how they handled all these hyperparameters, and so that's only 1/5 of the studies. So the AI guys, they emphasize that it is important for these medical researchers that they're going to use AI to interpret their data, that they need to have computer experts, AI experts in particular, involved in those studies to control how the computer interprets the data. Makes sense to me. I'd never heard anything like this before, and I thought I'd bring it to you just to say, don't believe everything you read, especially not on social media, because some of it is not based on factual human research. It's based on computers generally interpreting the data. So let's take a little different bent now. I always give a health tip, and the health tip has nothing to do with AI. This is all about good old physical stuff. Stretch. Now, long distance runners are probably the only athletes that don't really benefit from a whole lot of stretching, and there have been studies that say that even short-term runners, football players, athletes like basketball players, tennis players, we always used to stretch before we got out on the tennis court. And there are studies that show that it reduced the amount of injury, but it's only good in those short-term 5-10 minute stretches, only going to protect you for about 10 minutes. If you sit down and take a break, I always used to laugh when my kids were in swim meets because they'd get out there at 6:30 in the morning and give them 20-30 minutes to swim back and forth in the pool, and then they got out and sat for an hour until their first event came up. And so the warm-up period did absolutely no good if they were going to sit with an iPad in front of them for an hour inactive. So stretching is good, but only if you do it within 10 minutes of when you're going to do a more intense physical activity. But stretching during the day can be something as simple as just, leaning against a wall like this and stretching, putting your arms up over your head and stretching like that. It's just good throughout the day. I do it with my neck because I'm down like this most of the day to stretch back that direction, and sometimes I even feel the vertebrae kind of readjust and get a little bit of a chiropractic adjustment. So keep that in mind throughout the day. If you're sedentary, you're sitting at a desk, stop every 30 minutes or so and just stretch out, stretch your back, get up, move around, reach down and touch your toes if you can. And so that's my health tip for the day. I will see you next Wednesday for the last August episode of Wisdom Wednesday.